Hey guys, Ryan here, and welcome back to another episode of my Minecraft survival. And in the last episode, we built up a house for Swampy Stan, and the entire thing, well, the thing I was saying the entire time while building it was, this is a little bit small, but that doesn't matter. He's a villager. He doesn't need it as big as the orcs do, and this and that and this and that. And I really didn't like how small it was. I really didn't. I wanted to build a fireplace on it, and then the building was too small to do that, and then the outside was too small, and it was one big nightmare. But what I did, off camera and outside of episode, I went ahead and expanded it. I didn't expand it much, but it made such a difference. Literally, all I did was, instead of having it 3, then 1, I literally just made it so that it's this corner bit, so it's actually 3, 1, 1, 3, and then like that all the way around, because on the inside it's just like this, 3, 1, 1, and all that. And it's made so much difference. It's not even that much bigger, but it just looks so much better than it did. So not much has changed, other than the fact that I've put a few things down. I moved the bed over there. Got a fireplace. I added in a fireplace because I said I would add in a fireplace, and that's exactly what I did. So he's got a little fireplace here. I couldn't have iron bars all the way around because they would have connected to this. So I put up trapdoors. If we take these down, they disconnect, but if you have them up, they connect. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I added in a bat head. Not really a reason why. If I get a slime head, I'll probably put that somewhere, but I kind of like that. I think it looks quite cool. And I added in a mushroom, because he is Swampy Stan after all. And I added in a carpet too, and that's about it for in here. But I did go ahead and expand this area out a little bit more. And also, under these trapdoors, what I did was I went ahead, or I'm going to go ahead, and make them into so that there's torches underneath all of these. Even if there doesn't necessarily need to be, I still want to put some down there because it's just safer that way. I'd rather have the area all lit up, and originally what I was doing was putting the torches on top of these, and it wasn't lighting the area up enough, so I'm just going to go around and place them like this. And yeah, so I did stick to the main sort of way that I built it last episode. I tried to keep most of the textures the same. This is like that for now. Don't worry about it. I know it's annoying. It is annoying. But it's so that I can sort of terraform this area out a little bit more. I did that one. But yeah, I tried to stick with the textures basically the same as they were. I tried not to change them up too much. I just added in new ones when new ones were needed. And the roof is basically the exact same, just a little bit bigger. I tried to use the same materials as well, like all the flowers and everything. I tried to use those same ones for the roof. We'll place that there. So we do need to do that as well. And also, another thing that we need to do... Oh, there's a trapdoor there. Actually, no, that doesn't matter. I was going to remove that, but it's fine. That'll do for now. And what I want to do in this episode is, because an important part, right? You've got a village. You need to protect it, right? And of course, we're going to be adding in the guard towers, which I mentioned before. We are going to be adding in those. I still need to work out a design for them, because it's basically going to be the same design, repeated over and over again, but also kind of edited slightly each time, just to make it look a little bit different. I believe that's all of them. Yeah, looks like it. Cool, cool. And also, fun fact, even though Swampy Stan's bed is over there, he still comes over here and walks around with the horses, and I love it. I love that so much, the fact that he doesn't have an actual job, and this is meant to be his job, I say in quotations, and he still comes over here to tend to the horses and the donkeys and the mule, and I love it so much. Like, it's not even part of his AI, but he does it anyway, and I'll say it again, I love it. I genuinely do. I really like that he does it. I also brought Leonardo over here, just so that he can wander around. I also went ahead and let Lambug and Moth out, just so that they can wander around as a family, because I thought that was quite sweet. Because, why not? I'm also, since I bred Leonardo and Lambug, I've been wanting to have Leonardo breed with another horse in Crafting Dead and have a baby mule. And I'm still thinking about the idea, maybe going through with it, and it's going to be pretty cool if I do that. But yeah, like I was saying before I got distracted anyway by that, we obviously are going to have the guard towers. They're not going to be too high because I don't imagine orcs as archers. I can imagine them using maybe crossbows perhaps, but more like spears and axes. When I think of an orc, I think of them using spears, axes, maybe broadswords, things like that. Maybe other weapons like that, but I don't imagine them using bows or crossbows or things like that. Crossbow, maybe. Normal bows, not too sure, but then again, I suppose normal bows are more primal, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, it makes sense in my head, okay? But other than that, what defense are we going to have around this village to keep outside forces, well, out? So I decided we're going to build up a wall here. Now this is the area that I mentioned last episode, I believe it was, which is where the entrance to the Orcish prison is going to be. I went ahead, this is the doors that we used to get in. I was going to have like a big iron bar gate, but then you can't actually get through it, and I wanted a way to actually get through it, so I just added in doors, and it kind of looks like it's meant to be part of the wall anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But this entire bit here is going to be like a prison island, and there's going to be maybe like little fighting pits and things like that. Yeah, like prison island. There's going to be maybe like fighting pits. I want to use the word gulag, but then it's just going to say, like, or it's going to seem like I'm just talking about Call of Duty. I'm not, but I suppose you could use that as the example. The fighting pits in the gulag on Call of Duty. It kind of works, but except these guys don't fight to be released because they stay here. But also, it's mostly just going to be like they're prisoners of war, so there's not actually going to be any mobs roaming around, except for maybe there will be, because I'm not going to light this area up. I think we're going to have this area dark in most places, so if it is nighttime, mobs will still spawn, just to make it seem like there's still prisoners roaming around, but most of them are going to be closed off, and they will be named as well, the main ones, so I think that's going to look pretty cool. We can figure out some, I don't know, like some cell designs, and maybe, I don't know, like I said, the fighting pits, and we can figure that all out. But this is what the wall is going to look like. It's going to be connected with the bone, and then there's just going to be logs in the middle. That's why I was gathering up so many logs. And that's just the general idea. There's going to be a guard tower here, so that they can not only watch over this way, but they can also watch into the prison area. There will be one on the other side as well, I'd imagine. And the only idea I had to now come up with was, how is the wall going to work? If they harvest this sugarcane, right? If we have the wall here, how are they going to access the sugarcane? But then, how are they going to have it in the water if it's wood, and wood will rot and corrode over time in the water? So, don't want to use that either. So, what I was thinking, although I probably will use that in the water eventually at some point anyway, because I probably won't have much of a choice, but we'll sort that out. It's fine. We could just say that, you know, they've done it as a temporary thing. So I'm not saying that we won't have it in the water, but where we can avoid having it in the water, I'd like to. So what I mean by that is, here, this will have to be in the water, because the land is too far away over there, and, you know, we'll have to have that there. It's either that, or we have the wall a little bit further in, and have the sugarcane farms and fields outside of the walls, which, thinking about it now, might not be a terrible idea. We can have the wall slightly away from the sugarcane, so it's separate, and then we can have the... okay, I think I figured out what I want to do. So, we're going to go ahead and grab our blocks up real quick to make our bones, because that was bothering me that it was like that. I know it's a waste of materials, but it's fine. Okay, so now, with that being said and done, what we need to go ahead and do now is, well, the question is, do we go like this? We'll take the diorite. There we go. And we're using oak wood, stripped oak wood, dark oak and stripped dark oak, and spruce and stripped spruce on this wall. As you can see there, it's all laid out. Although I haven't used much stripped oak, but it's all going to be varying heights. The bone is going to be taller than the rest, although there are going to be parts that are taller. But then, if there are, it's always going to be taller than the ones next to it. That's the main thing I'm going for. So even if the logs are tall, they are never, or the bone blocks are never going to be next to a log that's taller than the actual bone. That's kind of the idea I'm going for. So now what I need to try and figure out is, where do I want this? I think we can have spruce here. We'll go 3, because why not? And then if this is going to be where the tower is, we can have it in this little corner. And then maybe we can have... we'll have some stripped oak. We'll have this stripped all the way up, I think. We'll go 4 high, like so. Going to take a little bit of damage, but not much. The sounds are delayed for some reason. I didn't notice that. When I then jump down, it's slightly delayed, but it's fine. Okay. So, we're going to bring around... it's kind of difficult to work out which ones are going to be which, to be completely honest, but I think we can figure it out. Then we'll go with some stripped spruce, maybe some more normal spruce, then some normal oak, maybe? Yeah, I think that could be fine, and then we can place this like so. Okay, and then we'll come over here, because this is where all of our shulker boxes are. Did we sleep already? We must have done. Yeah, I must have done. I have a really bad memory. I think that's what I've come to realise. But we have got plenty of spruce. We haven't got as much oak, but we are surrounded by oak trees, so we have plenty of that. And I've got a bunch planted over there that I haven't cut down in ages, which I really need to, because then that way they can be growing while we're building, and I should be doing that, but I'm not. So, yes. So we're going to go like this. I want to make it sort of randomly patterned out, I think. So I'm also making sure that I don't have 2 of the same log type next to each other. It's easier to do it in this version of Minecraft because they that you can obviously strip them, so you can have, you know, a normal type, and then you can have the stripped version of it next to it. Whereas in a version like 1.8, for example, and I'm going to use Swift Creek in Fear the Crafting Dead as an example for that, the wall is made out of logs, but because I can't strip the logs in that version, there's multiple of the same log next to each other, and it's fine. I don't mind it. It's not the worst look in the world, but I definitely do prefer it where you can have them all separate. But anyway, I think what we're going to do is here have this stripped dark oak, and we just want it to go around the general area, basically. And I think this is going to be a bone block here. I think instead of doing it all the way up for now, we just work out what the shape is going to look like. I think that could be good. And then it's just about going around randomly, and we'll strip this because this is going to be a stripped one. And then maybe we can have spruce, but have that one stripped maybe. And then we can have stripped dark oak and maybe normal dark oak, I'm thinking. I think that could be okay, and do the trick. We'll break this one too. We also want to make sure that there is enough room for the orcs to walk around the outside of this wall. Or not, well, yeah, outside of this wall, so they can still gather up the sugarcane. They still can. It's going to be slightly... I want to make sure that it's still functional and goes well, or would work in the world, if there actually were orcs, which obviously there aren't, but in the imaginary world in which there are orcs living here, we need to make sure that it works in that story, I guess. So I want to make sure that there's a load of room. I think we might have a gate here, and that might be where they go out, or actually, because over here is where most of the sugarcane is, and I believe... So, sorry about that. I honestly don't know what happened, but that last clip would have cut off very abruptly. My mic stopped working, and when my mic stops working, the recorder automatically stops itself, and pops up telling me that my microphone has stopped working, and my microphone didn't want to turn on again. So I had to basically turn off that clip and make it a separate video, which I'll then have to edit onto this part. But anyway, problem solved. It's been a little while, not entirely sure how long, only a few minutes though. But I believe I was saying, I'm pretty sure the last time you saw me would have been me walking over this way, or walking through the sugarcane fields and saying, I believe what I was going to say is that I believe over here is where we're going to store all of the sugarcane. I think that's what I was going to say. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have this, like, pier bit, or the bridge, whatever we're calling it, is going to keep coming out this way, and then I believe, I know I keep saying I believe, but oh well, there's going to be the storage area here, which is where they dry out the sugarcane and maybe turn it into paper and that kind of thing, and also just where they store it generally. So that's going to be over here. But then we have the issue of figuring out where this is going to go. The skull house for the chieftain. We were going to have it over here, but now there's so much stuff over here that it doesn't seem to make sense anymore to have it here, because I imagine that he'd have it quite far away, or she, who knows, but I'd imagine that they'd have it quite far away from everyone else, right? And they definitely wouldn't have it over by the prison, because you don't want your leader by the prison, and maybe that means that we have to have it here or something, I don't know. So it's not far from the prison, but not entirely close to it either, because it doesn't make sense to have it here anymore, where I originally planned to have it. It doesn't make sense to have it here. And I suppose in a way it does make sense to have it near the ribcage, since this is potentially going to be the skull to the fossil, or the skeleton of this, whatever that belongs to. I think it's going to end up being like some kind of dragon or dinosaur or something along those lines. I'm not entirely sure yet. I still haven't figured it out, and I need to, because it is a very important part of this build. So what we're going to do quickly though is use up the last of this dirt that we have. We didn't have much, but I can get some more. And yeah, so it's going to come around to here, I believe. So this is where we'll have to have a separate entrance. But the good thing is, with the swamp, I'd imagine that it will keep most things out, right? Like Endermen can't cross water, zombies can, but they sink, skeletons can, but they sink, creepers can't exactly do much in water because most things AI glitches out. Or, well, that's not entirely true, but used to glitch out, but also creepers don't explode unless they're, aggravated, or unless there's a player in close vicinity to them, and vice versa, so they should be fine. We won't have any issues with that, but I'm thinking story-wise in this world, it'll be fine. The water around it is going to work as a moat of sorts, and that'll keep out most of the mobs, I'd guess. And yeah, that's the idea we're going with for that. But we're going to continue working on this wall. I know it's probably not the most exciting thing in the world, but I did just want to do it to show off kind of how it's going to be. So we did this over here, and we got to this far, and then we walked over there. But also, maybe we could work out some of the stuff that's going to be inside the prison, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's what we should do. We're going to work on the walls for this, I think, because this is going to come in again, and it's going to go around this entire island, and it is going to be an entire island, and I do want to, I think I mentioned this, I want to destroy the land over here, or some of the land over here, to make it disconnected from this part, on this side anyway, so then the only way to get to that, because it's surrounded by water on all sides, except for this one, it means that this is the only way to get in safely, I guess. But also, there's going to be a little bit of land around it, because you can see that the water's here, but it's a pretty I say it's a pretty deep river. It's 2 blocks deep, but it's fine. There's going to be a wall here around the outside too. So hopefully any mobs that do try and break in can't, is the idea anyway. Spiders are going to climb over the walls, but it's fine. It's fine. It makes sense story-wise. We're not trying to be 100% accurate. Or not accurate, but it doesn't have to make complete sense, I guess. It's the same thing. It's not 100% accurate, but it's fine. It'll work. It'll look okay, I think, in this. As long as it looks okay, that should be fine. So we're going to bring this wall around, and it's kind of difficult to try and do it without repeating the same materials, but I think it should be okay, because what we can do is maybe bring in, I think I'm going to use this, and then have this come in, like so, and then maybe have it to there. So it's not entirely big, but it's not, well, it is, it's 2 blocks small, and we might have to terraform some of this area out, because, I mean, you can jump this, and I know mobs aren't as smart, their AI isn't as smart as players, but they could still potentially just, like, try and I know they can do this, because I'm pretty sure I've seen it happen, or at least I've seen it in a video happen, where they try and jump up this block, and as a result, jump up that one instead, because they go, or, well, I failed there, but they go like that, and then they try and jump, because they jump before they actually get on the block, so most times they'll fall, but then there is the chance that they jump at just the right time, because you'll notice with mobs that they sort of jump up walls like this if they can't get through. So in doing so, they might try and jump up this wall and accidentally jump on this one and then be able to get out, which we obviously don't want, because then that puts us at risk of maybe a creeper doing that and jumping out. So we might have to dig away some of this area, which I plan on doing anyway. I think it makes sense to have it sort of lower down, and this bit is just lifted up, and we're going to get rid of that anyway. I don't want it to be completely flat, but I also maybe might add in a few, like, dents in the ground, or holes in the ground, where perhaps they were trying to get creepers into cells or something like that, and they blew up before they could get them in there. I think that could look pretty cool. I know this episode has been a lot of me just talking and trying to work out what we're going to be doing, but I mean, I think we're nearly at episode 40 if this isn't episode 40 already. I think this is probably episode 39, to be completely honest, and I know it doesn't seem like we've been in this area for that long, although it kind of has, because these videos only come out 2 times a week, sometimes not even that, when I can't record, or don't have the energy to record, but it's been a while. I've been working on this for a while, and it doesn't seem as long as it feels, or it hasn't been as long as it feels like it has been, but I don't want to get burn out of this project and not want to finish it, because I do want to get this finished, because I think this is actually the first Minecraft world I've had where I've actually kept it going for this long. Normally I die a few times and I give up on the world, but this one died quite a few times. How many times have we died actually, like completely? It should say on one of these, shouldn't it? Damage resisted, no. Number of deaths, 16 deaths. So that's not entirely bad. I mean, it's not great either, but considering we've survived, what, like 992 days in this world, I'd say 16 deaths for nearly 1,000 days in this world is pretty good. I mean, I would say that is pretty good, not gonna lie. Better than I thought I'd do anyway. So I'll take it, especially considering we've got an elytra and everything. Still don't know where my chest plate is. I don't know. But yes, I'm sort of rambling. I am loading YouTube up on my phone right now, just to see what episode number this is. And that's what I'm sort of stalling for. But it should be fine, because what we'll do is we'll keep building up this wall around here. Do we want it to be 2. Yeah, that'll be fine. And then we can have this one quite high, I think. Maybe down 1, and then we can have this like this, I think. Is this dark oak? Yes, it is. That's dark oak. Okay, well, we'll have the dark oak next to the spruce. They do look kind of similar, but they don't look the same. They still look quite different. So, then we can go around with another one. I want to keep it at least like 1 block away from the edge at all times, so there's not that big of a gap on the outside for mobs to stand on and things like that, but there is enough just in case it's needed, I guess. Not that it really will be, to be completely honest, but it should be fine, and we don't need to build the walls up that much. And let's see, is the phone... Yeah, the sound is turned off on my phone. So last episode was episode 38, so this is episode 39. I couldn't remember if it was 39 or 40, but it's 39. Wow, we are getting up there. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I think we're still going to be here in episode 40, but maybe for episode 50, which is still a few weeks away, maybe we'll do something different for that, I think. But for now, this should be fine. I think what we're going to do is have another pillar of bone here, and then have it go all the way around. We are definitely going to have to terraform this area out, and I've still got to work out exactly what I want over here. So I'll have to do that off camera, and then build it on camera. And we also, another thing we need to do at some point in the future, maybe that's what we'll do next episode for episode 40, is fight a wither, because I would like a beacon, because I do need to do some big digs and like take a load of materials, because we need a bunch of materials, and also the village that I work on that I haven't worked on in a while, that I don't do on camera. I'm making that like a mining village, and there's going to be a few quarries, so a beacon, a full beacon, will be incredibly useful in doing that. So might have to do that at some point next episode, maybe. Maybe that's what we'll do next episode. Focus on it, try and fight it, try and find my chest plate. I feel like the only place that it could be, or the only thing that could have happened to it, is that I accidentally disenchanted it without realizing, and it's gone. That's the only thing I can actually think of. So that's not incredibly useful, but there's not much I can do about it if I can. If I have, I can't remember doing it, but obviously I must have done. So I don't know. I'll continue looking for it. What is this? Oh yes. This is a hole that Creeper blew up that I didn't fill up completely. But I will. I will at some point. I promise that. To not only you, but myself too. Because these kind of holes often irritate me just knowing that they're there. So, that's going to be that. And then I think what we can do is we can have some spruce log. Oh, I didn't want that to be spruce log. I wanted this to be oak. And then we're going to strip both of those, spruce and oak. And then we can have that like that. And it's just trying to get them randomly around, I guess. And then maybe we can bring this out again like this. And then this can be normal oak. And then maybe dark oak. Or maybe this can be dark oak. And I can never tell if these squids are dying or if they're just making their, like, blub noises. Because they've done that, and I don't know how I've never noticed it before. But I can never tell if they're just going blub, blub, or if they're suffocating. I don't know. It's kind of confusing. But, oh well, it's fine. So, now that we've done that, where are we gonna... We're gonna bring this all the way around. I suppose for now, we'll just use whatever. We'll use this for now, and then we can mark it all out. I think we're going to have 2 like this, and then another 2 like this, and then maybe a 1 here, like so, and then we can have 2, and then have this. Well, I don't really want it there, so maybe this can be where the bone will be, and then we can bring this around again, and bring it in 2 just to go out again, like so. And we can maybe have that 4, and then we can have this be 1, 2, and then 1, 2, maybe then 1 and 1. And then maybe this can be more bone, like this, and just having it randomly shaped. I think this is the best way to work it out, and then that way we can go through afterwards and add in all of these block variation, because that's kind of confusing to do on camera. But I think we're going to go around this area. I know it does sort of go into the birch biome, and that chicken is still here. I thought that it might have been gone, and to be honest, I completely forgot about it, but it's still here. I mean, that's pretty impressive. This thing is definitely going to be in the prison. Leave names for that chicken. I mean, I know most people won't because these videos don't get as many views as the rest of my videos, but name this chicken if you want to. Like, give him a cool, you know, like, villainy name. I don't know. Think of something, maybe. If not, I will, and then we'll just name it. But yes, so we're going to bring this around even more. I don't want it to be too many, like, in a row, but this can be 1 here, and then we can bring it like this, and then maybe we can bring it in, and then like this, just temporarily, although it doesn't really make much sense to do it like that. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just have it like this, and then we can just bring this one out like this, and then that way 1 block is going to be in the water and then 1 won't be, and then we can have that as a 2, I'm thinking, and then yep, that goes back to water. And then I don't want it to be too repetitive, that's the thing, but what we can then do is bring this in as diorite, I think, and then we're going to want 1 here, here, and then maybe we can bring 1 there and have 1 like that, maybe? I don't know. I think that should be fine. Yeah, that should be okay. And then we can just sort of bring this around, I guess. And then this can be a 2. Oh, no, not like that. This can be a 2 because we don't want it to be too many diagonals in a row, and there's already 3 there. So we can make it like that. And then we can sort of bring it around. And I just saw a shadow, and that made me jump. I think a bird was flying past my window. Okay, so we can have this go like this, and then maybe 2, 3, because I know I've been doing a lot of 2, 1, 2, 1 there, so we don't want to do that too much. And then this is going to be the edge of it, of course, and maybe about here we'll make this into diorite, just like that, so that way it breaks it up, because I keep forgetting to add those in. And it's going to be varying like places. There's not an exact number where we then add in the diorite / bone. It's just random whenever I think I need to add it. And it's pouring down with rain outside as well, so that's nice. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we'll have that as 1, and then this can be 2, and then maybe this can be 1, and then because we're approaching the edge of the water here, or edge of the land, I don't want to bring it out too far. We might even get rid of some of this, to be completely honest. So maybe what we'll do is add in another diorite here, and then have this like this, and we can have maybe 3 or 4. We'll have 4, and then we can bring it back around like so, and then we can have it like this because it does go out. And then I think this is just going to be the edge of it, to be completely honest, because like I said, we're going to destroy some of that anyway, so that there's no way to get here from over there, just to I don't know, make it more like a prison island. The rain is starting to get a lot heavier now, so you might be able to hear it, and there's also a plane flying as well. So yes, I think anyway, we didn't do exactly a load in this episode, but we did talk a lot, because that's something I'm good at, I guess, talking a lot and getting no progress done. But we did mark out where this wall is going to go around, so it is going to be a very odd shape, but that's kind of going to be good, I guess, and we can figure out what to do with that. But yes, I think I'm going to end this episode here. I'll mark out the rest of the wall, maybe even build it up, And then next episode, we'll probably fight the Wither or something like that anyway. So if you have enjoyed this episode, make sure you stick around for the next one, which will be out very, very soon. Universe SMP will be coming back at some point. I'm not entirely sure when. Most other people have also not recorded and uploaded it, as far as I'm aware. I think some people have still been on, but not many people are extremely active right now. I'm still in the Discord, and I've been sort of reading what everyone's been putting and things like that. So I think there's a few things planned to hopefully bring everyone back to the server and sort of start that up. I know the Never update is definitely going to be a big thing for that. So everyone will go back to that when that update comes out. But in the meantime, I don't know when it's going to be back, but I'm hoping, I think it's going to be back, because me and Dylan haven't finished our base yet at all, so we definitely need to do that. And to be honest, that's probably something we could do anyway, because that's just a solo project. But yes. Ooh! Thunder! That is very loud, and very close, too. Wow. Well, I hope you enjoyed that thunder. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode. Goodbye!